Get ready for a total routine overhaul with the Fuel Her Awesome Routine Reset Challenge. In the next 7 days, we will reinvent your routine to pave the way for empowered eating. From morning rituals and quick snacks to evening relaxation techniques, we are going to cover it all. Join me on the show daily as we set up structured and sustainable daily routines through habit stacking, motivational stories, and science-backed insights to support your empowered eating journey. After a long summer, girl, it is time to reset, recharge, and embrace the empowered you. Let the reset begin. Hey friend, welcome to day 3. I'm Jess, your host, and yesterday's routine reset challenge beautifully sets us up for today. So if you have been following along, awesome. So glad you're here. We are trucking along and just paving the way for empowered eating and making the most out of the second half of the year. If you are just joining me, that is totally cool too. You guys can easily get caught up. I have a checklist that you guys can download. It's in the show notes. It's been sent to your email if you're on my insider list. There are so many ways you can get your hands on it. Of course, you can always connect with me on social at Jess Brown RD. But as for today, we are talking about your circadian rhythm and how it impacts your metabolism and your biofeedback. Circadian rhythm is something I love to dive into because I believe understanding it allows us to combine our body's natural rhythms, those God-created, driven on and off rhythms, and we can combine that with what the science tells us to get the most out of them. So we can be on go mode with all the energy we need, and then when it's time to rest and recover, we can actually shut our bodies down. So I'm really excited to dive into today's routine reset challenge. Are you loving this routine reset? Doesn't it feel so good to get some of that control back so that we can show up every day intentionally and therefore empowered? If you're loving this, girl, you are going to love becoming an empowered eater. Food freedom and getting healthier, it can totally coexist. This week, you can snag your spot inside the Empowered Eating Method for 20% off with the discount code RESET. The Empowered Eating Method is 12 weeks to walk you toward empowered eating based on values work, learning all about using biofeedback as a marker of success instead of the scale, and of course, a customized to-you fuel plan written by me. All the details can be found in the show notes or over at jessbrownrd.com under courses. And the cool part is anyone who joins now gets to be a part of the live group coaching that is going to kick off in September. That's right. Starting in September, we are going to have monthly live group support so that I can support you in real time. Stay committed to the empowered eating process all the way through the end of the year. You can snag that 20% off through Friday with the discount code RESET at checkout. All right, let's get back to the show and today's challenge. Okay, so let's all get on the same page to start. What is our circadian rhythm? Most of us have heard this word, but just so that we're all on the same page, our circadian rhythm is our body's natural 24-hour sleep and wake cycle. This is our natural body clock, and it's synchronized with external environment cues like exposure to light and the timing of our meals. Now, if you tuned in yesterday, we touched on timed eating and eating on a rhythm every 2 to 4 hours. And if you're inside the Empowered Eating Method, you know this is the very first action we take. And the reason for that is that it's so closely associated with our body's internal clock, aka our circadian rhythm. So let's dive into a little bit about how our circadian rhythm impacts our metabolism. Your metabolism changes throughout the day because of your circadian rhythm. In the morning, in response to daylight and food, insulin sensitivity increases, it jumps up, and melatonin, our sleep hormone, it decreases. And this makes us feel more alert and energized, hopefully, right? Like that's the goal. Meanwhile, in the evening, melatonin levels start to increase, getting us ready to fall asleep, and insulin sensitivity starts to decrease. Now, insulin sensitivity, all this is it means when our body, our pancreas releases the hormone insulin to go attach to any glucose that is in our bloodstream. And that attachment right there allows food to get into our cell and literally be turned into fuel. So in other words, as we get closer to the evening, that insulin sensitivity decreases because we don't need as much energy. We don't need glucose moving into the cell. And our body shifts this and starts to reduce insulin sensitivity because it's preparing for rest. When we go to sleep, our parasympathetic nervous system is preparing for the rest, digest, and repair cycle. So during the day, our sympathetic nervous system, our go, fight or flight, responding to things, we're taking action and doing all the things. But when we go to sleep, it's that parasympathetic nervous system that runs the show, the rest and digest process. So that is how our internal body clock impacts our metabolism. But the way we rest also impacts our hormones, specifically our hunger and satiety hormones. Now, our primary hunger hormone is ghrelin, and our primary satiety or fullness hormone is leptin. These are the two guys that are the biggest players in regulating our hunger. If you're inside the Empowered Eating Method, I have whole modules on ghrelin and leptin and how to identify them, how to reset them, what throws them off. We unpack it because I think understanding these hormones gives us a lot of power, and it gives us a way to understand how our body communicates to us. But one of the ways these hormones get thrown off is when our body is sleep deprived. When we are sleep deprived, it throws off that circadian rhythm and it actually increases ghrelin levels, which is our hunger hormone. So it makes us more hungry when we don't get sleep and decreases our leptin or our fullness hormones inside the body. I think we can all relate to this. I mean, how many of us have had a poor night's sleep and wake up the next day and feel like we just can't scratch that hunger itch? Like we're looking for everything, and it tends to be foods that are easier to eat, comfort foods. We want more than we would had we gotten a quality night's sleep. This is in part due to the fact that a disruption in our circadian rhythm leads to an increase in the production of insulin. So remember, insulin is that hormone that pulls blood glucose into your cells. I think of it like the gatekeeper of turning actual food into fuel. And we get more of that circulating in our blood. And I think it's biological, because if we think about it, if we're tired, our body is biologically driven to keep going, right? We are resilient human beings. And so if we wake up and we didn't sleep well, or maybe not at all, we have more insulin pumping through our body saying, all right, let's get this girl more energy. She needs more to get throughout the day. So by eating meals consistently and regularly, we can actually help to regulate and reset some of these hormonal responses. It's a way for you to reassure your body's basic biological functions, which remember, our body's driven to help us survive. Any disruption in the circadian rhythm or our hunger hormone cycles, its primary goal is keeping you alive. So in order to reassure our body that, hey, we are okay, it is safe, there is food that is readily available to me and I'm going to feed you regularly, there's plenty of opportunity to rest, no need for alarm, sister. In order to do this, we need to be eating regularly. So part of today's challenge is actually engaging some of the things we've already been working on, and that is eating regularly and often, like we discussed in yesterday's episode, eating every 2 to 4 hours, whatever that looks like for you in your routine. And the other is establishing a nighttime routine. Now, we talked a little bit about this in the prep week, but I want to revisit it for just a second here. The way I look at it, a bedtime routine is a necessity, not a luxury. Like taking time to actually wind down and relax, create space for passive tasks that aren't cognitively arousing, help us to actually unravel our mind. If you're like me, we're on go mode all day long. We're overstimulated. We're giving and pouring out of every faucet of energy we have in our body. And so we actually need to create space to transition from the busy day madness to the stillness of the night. I often think of this process as I do when I shut down my phone for the night. So at the end of the day, I always pull out my phone and I turn off all the apps. Chances are I have about 39 apps open because I don't shut them after I use them. But I go through my phone, hold down the home screen, and swipe up to close out each app. And as I do that, it kind of helps my brain go, okay, was there something I was supposed to do that I wasn't able to finish? Once I close out all the apps, I plug my phone in and set it down. I think of our nighttime routine just like this. When we're winding down, we're closing out the day, we're finishing some things that may need to be wrapped up, and we are shutting down so we can plug our bodies into our bed and reset and rest. I love the parasympathetic nervous system because it is responsible for that rest and digest action within our body. It's that beautiful process that we don't even have to think about. Oftentimes we forget that it's even doing this while we sleep, but it is so intricate and beautifully done. And we don't have to do anything about it. Our body just does its thing. So this wind down routine tells our body like, hey, I'm respecting the off switch here and I'm surrendering to you to let you do its thing. So I cannot overemphasize the importance and benefits of establishing a wind down routine or nighttime routine to reset your circadian rhythm. Okay, so those are the two that we've touched on in the past. But as for today, we're going to build on this. We're going to build on it by perfecting our morning routine. So here are some morning essentials that you can work in depending on your schedule, depending on when you like to wake up. You can tailor them based on you. But if you were to pick 4 things to include in your morning routine, it would be this: sunlight. Exposure to sunlight in the early morning tells your circadian rhythm it's time to switch gears. So getting outside, even if it's just for a few minutes, maybe it's a quick walk, maybe it's just looking at the sun, taking a deep breath, get outside and have some exposure to sunlight. Number 2 is hydrating. I love to have clients put water cups by their toothbrush so we can habit stack some early morning hydration right away. And the question always comes up, Jess, does coffee count? Coffee, kind of. I mean, I drink coffee in the morning, but we actually only absorb about 80% of the fluid from coffee, and it does speed up how quickly we release water. So let's add some water to your coffee routine by placing a cup by your toothbrush. The third part of your morning routine is having breakfast. Giving your body glucose in the morning also tells your circadian rhythm it is time for go mode. It allows your body to not release excess cortisol because you've now already given it glucose. It calms that cortisol down that's naturally released in the morning and gives you energy for your day. So I typically recommend eating within 90 minutes of waking. And then the fourth part of your morning routine is a tech-free intention setting. So this is beyond your to-do list. It is a moment before your day takes you on and you actually decide how you want to take on the day. No tech, no to-do lists, hopefully nobody screaming in your ear. Sometimes the kids wake up early, I know. Sometimes the dogs need extra attention. But if you can get just a moment to set your intention on how you want to show up for the day, we can approach the day empowered. Okay, so for your routine reset challenge today, your mission is to establish a morning routine considering those 4 elements: sunlight, hydration, breakfast within 90 minutes, and a tech-free intention setting moment. When you're implementing something like this, I always say first time is luck, second time is coincidence, but girl, third time is skill. So give yourself a few mornings to tweak this one, work it out, and find one that is perfect for you. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning on the Routine Reset Challenge. We are going to be talking about how to habit hack your supplement stack. I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Cheers and happy eating. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As we reset our routine, I would love to hear how it's going for you. You can always share your progress on social. Don't forget to tag me at Jess Brown RD or leave a review on the show. And if this reset challenge is gearing you up, but you want that next step, don't forget to check out the Empowered Eating Method over at jessbrownrd.com under courses. Enter the code RESET at checkout for 20% off this week. I can't wait to see you again here tomorrow morning as we continue this Routine Reset Challenge.